we have been engaging at national level to see how child budgeting can be done. One thing is that the directive from the Treasury, the budget policy paper clearly states that all the government agencies, they should look at gender sensitive and child focused budgeting. But realizing that one is a problem. So the first instance is to look at budget advocacy that we are going to do. And I know part of this project also budget advocacy. Second, also having dialogue with the county government in terms of what can be done in terms of the limited resources that is available. And of course, by collaborating with them and working with them together, in that we will be supporting some of this policy to be implemented. But the biggest area to see that this policy are delivered is making sure that there's adequate budget to deliver this policy, especially around child right and gender equality. I know plan could have implemented it directly, but that is not sustainable. Experience has shown that it cannot be sustainable. That's why we have a very bold approach for working with locally led, globally connected, where we bring the global aspect of it, but the locally led knowledge is very important in trying to address and reshaping the thinking, the cultural norm, and then the practice. So if it is locally led, I believe it will have a lot of buy-in, and then also it is more sustainable. Our experience shows in other programs that there are some gatekeepers who are benefiting from those practices. For example, those who are doing the cutting of the girls, they don't want to stop that practices. So we do not know whether it's the same experience, but that's why we have to go for community-led approach. That's why we want to work with government, we want to work with religious leaders, so that the approaches that we want to apply, we can get buy-in. We are employing what is called acceptance approach, where there's acceptance, and then we continuously push for change in this policy. Another area is when you look at what the county has been saying about the rescue center, and then also we are only targeting 2 locations, and yet there are many other places that we need to look at. What we know is that the need is great, but the resources to address those needs is limited. But we start.
For that question. Yesterday we had the chance to talk to some of the youth and women-led organizations who are engaging in that project. And we were discussing exactly that same question: what would success look like? What do we want to achieve at the end? Let me start by saying why Switzerland actually is supporting this initiative and why we launched it. For Switzerland, we strongly believe that diversity is important. It brings more stability and gives a voice to the people. So this project belongs to a means to give a voice to survivors, to strengthen initiatives that are ongoing on the ground by these organizations. They're doing a lot with very little. So it's really, as it has been said, change needs to come from within a society and from within a community. That's why we support gender-based violence through a community approach. Of course, Kenya is in a good position when it comes to legislation. There is a lot of laws and frameworks already in place, but it is important to translate them on the ground and to have action taking place. So we need to bring together the legal framework and what is happening on the ground, on the middle ground. So what we would like to see at the end is that these community-led initiatives by these women and young people can get traction, that they can form networks, that they form alliances. This project is not only taking place in northeastern Kenya, but also in southeastern Ethiopia and in Somalia. And our aspiration is that this powerful organization can create a network beyond the borders, get a voice, and have a dialogue with the authorities to really make changes on the ground. That is what we would like.
Then what action are we intending to take? Let us use this platform today not only to launch the project, but ignite a movement where every survivor is heard, where every girl is safe, and where every action of violence is met with accountability. I call upon every department, every stakeholder, and every citizen to stand up and speak out and take action against GBVM. Once again, I thank Plan International, the Swiss Development Corporation, our grassroots human-led organization for their leadership and effort. And to Plan International, Kenya is at the entry back to Isiolo. Plan International and previously worked in Kenya some years back, and the project implemented there are still benefiting community to date. You are a great partner to our county. Together, let us build a safe, inclusive, and justice county where all people, especially women and girls, can thrive with dignity and security.
Isiolo. Na hii project ni ya miaka 4 na bado inaweza endelea zaidi ya miaka 4, lakini phase ya kwanza itakuwa na miaka 4, na project inakuwa implemented in Burat and Ngaremara. Inazungumzia sana mambo ya GBV. Kwa hivyo ni kama tu ni pilot board mbili kama pilot. Kwa hiyo 4 years, alafu baada hiyo 4 years tunaweza kuongeza tena ward zingine ili tufikie ward 10 yote. Na wale wana implement, kulikuwa na process ya kuselect wale walikuwa na implement, kulikuwa na call for expression kwa wale community based organizations ambayo walikuwa wamemaliza mwaka moja. Na pia ilikuwa pia inaangalia wale ambayo wako chini kabisa wajawahi pata funding ili waweze kukuzwa na kuinuliwa. Kwa hivyo kupitia county government na Plan International waliweza kuketi na kuangalia ni kina nani wanaweza fanya kazi, kwa sababu walikuwa wanaangalia pia ni nani anafanya kazi sana, ni nani anafanya kazi lakini ana pesa. Kwa hivyo zile majina zilikuwa nyingi, lakini walikuja waka shortlist na kuselect 10. Na hizi shirika 10 ni mashirika ambayo imekuwa tu ya Isiolo ya community based, but wanafanya kazi mashinani. Kwa hivyo kuna vile sasa tumegawa, kuna mashirika 4 watafanya kazi Burat, mashirika 4 watafanya kazi Ngaremara, lakini kuna mashirika 2 watakata cross. Kuna shirika la medics au watakata cross, alafu tuko na shirika ya youth ambayo mambo yao mengi ni mambo na media, mambo na social media ama kufanya activism through media. Kutakuwa na awareness ya mambo ya GBV, kutakuwa mambo ya dialogues ya kuleta wazee pamoja. Tutakuwa tayari tushatrainiwa, tumepatiwa organization capacity as trainings, tumetrainiwa, but bado tutakuwa pia na training ya kina mama kuhusu mambo ya human rights na mambo ya GBV. Tutakuwa pia na policy advocacy, kwa sababu hapo pia ndio tunangangana ndio tuone kwamba ile policy, agenda policy, tayari tumefanya analysis na kuna bill inahitajika. So tunaangalia pia kwa sababu wale mashirika 10 watafanya na Gender Technical Working Group kuhakikisha kwamba wamesukuma mambo na policy. Tuna launch tu leo, tumejua ni wale 10 tumechukuliwa, lakini bado kila organization itafanya kazi kulingana na ile expertise yao. So tutafanya wote kazi pamoja. Kuna organizations itafanya mambo na capacity building peke yake, pamoja na organizations CSOs wale wengine. Kuna wale watafanya mambo tu championing awareness, kuna mambo economic empowerment itakuwa tu bado ndani ya hapo. Na kila organization kuna wale watakuwa wanatumia social media kwa advocacy. So alafu medics pia wakifanya ni mambo na referrals. Kwa hivyo wanakuja ku strengthen the referrals. Psychosocial support inahitajika sana kwa survivor, na hiyo ndio inakuanga mara nyingi gap. Na tulipoongea jana tuliangalia pia tunaweza kupush for hata kulete pro bono lawyer.